going to go over how you can add categories and tags to your blog post, how you can add a basic author for your blog post. We're going to talk about how you can create an SEO title for your blog post and an SEO description, how you can add a social sharing image for your blog, and how you can set up a blog post for publish at a later date and add different statuses like that. So a lot to cover. Let's dive in. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a basic author. So the way that you do that is you go to settings and then you go to permissions and then click add basic author. So here you can add a profile image for your author. You can put whatever name you like, and then you can have a bio with your first and last name, a website, and a short little bio about your author there. So that's the way that you can add a basic author for your blog post. Now we're going to go back, and now let's get into settings for blogging. So right now we were in settings. I'm going to just go back out just to show you. We're going to settings and then going down to blogging. Here you can set up a few things. You can set up your post URL format. This is a little bit more advanced for SEO, and I'm not going to really get into that for this video. But let's talk about comments. You can set up the comments for your blog if you want to enable comments. Could be a really good thing if you actually get some comment engagement on your blog. That could be a great thing for search engine optimization. So it could just draw more people to check out your blog if it's getting that kind of activity. So if you want to enable comments, you can do that, and then you have all these options. So you can add or allow comment likes if other users reading the blog like a comment. That way they can like them. You can require approval if you want to before comments are posted on your blog. You can allow anonymous comments so users don't have to log into your site. You can see all these different options here. Your comment sort order, this is just the way that you want your comments organized on your blog. You can auto-disable comments maybe after a certain amount of days. If you feel like 100 days from now I don't really want people to continue commenting on this post, then you could do that, or you can never do that. It's up to you. Comment flags, if you want to allow users to flag comments for review, like, hey, this doesn't look like an appropriate comment, then you can set up comment flags and you can set up a certain amount. So let's say if you get 3 flags on a comment, then it's going to go away and it's going to be awaiting moderation. So that's something you could do if you want to kind of referee your blog comments, or you can leave that off. So there's some options there for you for comment settings. So I'm going to click save. And then as we go back out to our main page, you can see now we have this comments menu added. So here, once people start commenting on the blog, you'll have your approved comments, unmoderated, flagged, all of that. So that's where you can manage those once you actually start getting some activity. So now let's talk about how to create a blog post. So we are going to go to pages, and my blog is where my little pen icon is. So if I click on that, we have these default posts in here with the blog. So if you want to get rid of those, click on the 3 dots and then click delete, and it will tell you that they will be permanently deleted in 30 days. So something good to know, I guess. Or you can always delete them right away if you want to. And now let's create, actually, you know what, before we create a new post, let's talk about our blog settings as a whole. So if you click on this gear icon here, you can see our general settings. So our page title is through our a blog, navigation title is the same, URL slug is through our a blog, that's all good, but you could change that if you wanted to. So right now this page is enabled, so visitors can access the page. This shows how many posts per page, so I'm going to keep that on the maximum 20 right now. SEO, so you can see my SEO title is defaulting to blog 2, which is not what I want it to be. So I want this to be, let's see, I'm going to just say through RA, and this can be, I'm going to just do a generic title right now, a blog about navigating through rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, so there's an SEO title. You can add an SEO description, so that would be something that you'd want to look at. What are some keywords that are going to generate or are going to draw the right users to my site. You'd want to add those into your description for your blog, so you make sure you're trying to attract the right crowd to your blog, and hopefully you can do that and make that work for you. So here you can also hide pages from search results. I'm not going to hide anything right now. Your social image. So when you share a link to your blog, this is the image that it will share. So this link would be like, hey, check out my whole blog, not just an individual blog post. This would be like the whole blog. So you can add a certain image for that if you want, right there. Feeds. If you have a podcast, you can link it up with your podcast, or if you have an Apple News channel, all these different options are there for you. So I believe this is all new to Squarespace. So just wanted to make sure I went over that. Now, categories. If you had categories set up, you could manage them here, but this is a new blog, so there aren't any categories or tags right now. But we'll get there. So I'm going to just click save, and now we'll talk about how you can add a post. So by clicking on this plus icon right here, we can add a new blog post. Excuse me. Okay, so here, let's just create a post title. I'm going to say, your body is not against you. All right. So that's going to be my title, and I'm just going to I'm going to save that, and now I want to get into the settings of this post. So right now it's just set up as a draft. Let's say I finish this up and then I want to schedule it to publish at a certain date. We could do that. So you could hit scheduled, and then you can select the date that you want to publish it. So maybe you want it to hit on Friday night at, I don't know, 10 p.m. 10:01. That's very specific. All right. So so you could do that. You could set it up to schedule and publish at that time, and then you could say on social media, hey, new blog post coming on Friday 10 p.m. Don't miss it. Something like that. So that's a cool option. I like that there's that option to schedule your blog post now. For now, I'm going to just go back and keep this as a draft. So here you can add a thumbnail image for your blog. You could change the URL if you want to. Maybe this, your body is not against you. Maybe this should be more like autoimmune disease. Whoops, I spelled that wrong. Okay, disease. Is your body against you? Something like that. You could change it to, whatever you want. Hopefully, whoops, zoomed in really far there. You could change that, ideally for optimizing your search performance whatever keywords you think fit best right there. That's what you want to put. Author, this is where you would select the author that wrote it. If you have multiple authors, I just have one on my site here, and you can create a custom excerpt here for your summary of your blog if you want. SEO, you can add a certain title and a description. If you don't, it's just going to automatically generate based on the content of your post. So that's up to you. I always say control it. You're probably going to be best at picking that content. Social image, so this would be a social sharing image for your specific blog post. So when you share the link, it will also share the image that you add here. Share, so you can create an email draft using Squarespace email campaigns to let everybody know on your email list that you just created a new blog post. That might be something you want to do. And you can also connect a social media account here. So I haven't done that yet, but this leads me to believe that when you connect an account and you publish a post, it's going to automatically share that on whatever social media account you connect. So I'm not 100% sure, but it does say that it's pushing content, so sounds like that would be appropriate. If you want to specify a location, you could do that right there. All right, so I'm going to click Save. There's our blog post settings. Now, if you wanted to add different, let's see, did I go over tags? I don't think I did, huh? So we got in our blog post settings, a couple ways you can reach settings, by the way. You could use these three dots next to your post over here and go to settings, or if you're inside here, you can click on this gear icon in the top right, and blog post settings, same exact thing, two different ways to get to it. So if you want to add tags, let's say autoimmune disease, and then just hit enter, and you can see it kind of saved it as a tag. Rheumatoid arthritis, enter, there's another tag. Mental health, whatever kind of tags that are relevant to your post, you can add them all right there. And then your categories, so I'm going to say autoimmune disease for the category, and maybe I'll say mental health as well. Okay, so those tags and categories are just going to make your content easier to find. If you have users on your site that are going to your site to look for specific things, then that should help them find it a little bit easier, as well as hopefully help you appear in more search engine results as well. So that's an important thing to know. Let's talk about how to edit your formatting for your blog post. So I'm going to double click on this post and then click the pen icon. For content width, you have these four options here. Narrow, in my opinion, is just a little too narrow. So, and then medium is quite a bit larger than narrow. So I'm going to try to go in between there. And let's see. So I clicked on custom, and what should happen is I should have a little slider right here that allows me to edit the content width, but it's not coming up. So what I'm going to do is click outside of this box and click on the pen icon again, and magically there it is. So 60 is actually right where I wanted it at. So I'm going to just leave it right there. Text alignment, you can see my title changes. Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. Text alignment, I can go left or center. For the title, I like it to be centered. And meta position, so right now I don't have any meta data turned on. So like if I want to show categories of this blog, I can show that, show a date that it was posted, show an author name, um, show the author profile, all of that. And here, delimiter style, you can see it's this little bullet point. I could change that to pipe or a dash or a space. So you've got all these nice little options here. I'm actually going to turn all of this stuff off. Maybe I'll keep the date and I'll keep the author. I think that's kind of cool. And then you can have that below the title or above the title. I like it below the title. And that's pretty much that. If you want to change your header spacing, you could do that as well. So just changes the space between your title and your blog content. So that's how you would do that. And you can also change the color of your blog posts. So if you want it to go on a different theme, like white bold, for example, you could do that, or whatever theme you prefer. So that's that, and that's how you format your blog in Squarespace 7.1. Also wanted to show you how you can add different content blocks. So let's say you want your social links to appear here, so you can add a social links block. And then you can drag that wherever you want it to go. If you want to add images, you just kind of hover over your content and then find the insert point, click on it, and then click on whatever it is that you want to add into your blog post, and that's how you do it. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about formatting your blog posts. So hope that was helpful, and we went over a lot of content today. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to support@squaredesignspace.com. Thanks.